Hey everyone, Teldo here, and as you might have noticed, I've been missing on YouTube for quite a while. Well, I know it has happened before that I haven't uploaded content for several months, and I always feel bad about it. There's been a lot of stuff going on, and it's about time that I update you guys. Let's start with the heavier stuff. I don't really like talking about this too much because I wanted this to be a place where you can come to and relax and have a good time with, but for the sake of transparency, I will share what has been going on. Last year, my father was diagnosed with lung cancer, and recently he passed away earlier this year, and it's been a really tough time for my family. During that whole period, it's been difficult to focus on anything. I've managed to maintain hosting a few Twitch streams because it's a lot easier to do than creating videos on YouTube, but most of my positive habits kinda collapsed during that time frame, which meant that I couldn't really think of making new content. It's still surreal, but that's just life. Crappy things happen, and you'll learn how to cope with them. I've been doing lots of mindfulness and meditation to deal with the situation, and I believe meditation is generally a great tool to deal with pain and emotions. Learning how to acknowledge and understand the emotions that you're feeling and being able to break out of that constant loop of negativity is something that meditation can really help a ton with. And I just wanted to say that I'm okay, and I have good friends helping me. Here's the other reason why I haven't been so active on YouTube, and it's a bit more complex. I've been wanting to be a content creator for quite some time. I love video games. I've been playing them all my life. I've held my first gamepad at the age of 2, and it's only natural to think of pursuing video games as a job since I believe in following your passion. However, things are more complicated than that. I've been mostly a streamer for the last 7 years, and I've had tons of ups and downs. I had some big successes in different games, and it looked like those accomplishments could kickstart me into a successful career as a streamer. And if you follow my Twitch, you might have seen very fluctuating viewer numbers depending on the time period you tuned in. Sometimes I'd have hundreds or even thousands of viewers if I played a game like Hearthstone or Battlerite, and other times you could see me with only 20 to 50 people watching. And this has been bothering me a lot in the past. I don't want to live an extravagant lifestyle. I just want to do the things that I have a passion for and be able to make a comfortable living with it. However, I'm not sure if the way that I've been doing things is actually something that I can really be passionate for. Twitch heavily promotes sticking to a single game, especially with my style of streaming where lots of people tune in to watch me be good at something and share my expertise with them. And because of that, I would get significantly less engagement when I would try playing different games on Twitch, which is natural and it happens to most streamers. Now, in the past, I've been so focused on growth and trying to make this work as a job that I would force myself to play the same games for way longer than I normally would, and I would just feel incredibly stressed, get easily tilted to the point that it became strikingly clear that I just didn't really have fun anymore. I wasn't happy. It's easy to say to yourself, hey, you're just playing video games, how hard could it be, man? Why would you be unhappy doing something like that? Get it together, man, just stream that game that's best for your channel. And I tried. I really did. But ultimately I'd fail and tilt a bunch anyway. Be unhappy with my work, beat myself up over it, and end up getting in a very negative mental loop. I have quite an obsessive personality, and when I find something that I like, I love going all in and focusing all my attention on it. This has benefits. I tend to learn quickly while absorbing everything there is around the thing I'm interested in, but after a while, I feel satisfied and the obsession starts fading relatively fast. So most of the time I would love some games for a few weeks straight, and then I'd start getting bored and would really have to force myself to continue eventually. After 7 years, I finally realized that the way I've been attempting to grow as a streamer and a content creator might not have been right for me. Focusing on one game just hasn't worked for me. I haven't found a way to force myself to be happy when I'm not, and I doubt I will figure out how to do that. I mean, sure, you can technically fake it to some extent, but I'm a pretty upfront person who's really bad at this sort of stuff, and I'm pretty transparent with how I feel. And it's important that I do have a positive outlook on things. You want to come in and have fun with me together. I simply do not believe that I can create content that I'm proud of when I'm not feeling fulfillment. You'll be able to tell, and I will be easily irritated, and the whole atmosphere will be different. Of course, I can't always be 100% happy, and I don't expect this wild dream scenario where whatever I do is only fun and games. but I need to have this general sense of passion and fulfillment in what I do to create actually good work. On top of that, I don't feel like I am growing as a person by focusing so much on streaming single games. I'm not building any expertise outside of being good at that one game. Of course, some skill and knowledge always carries over to other areas, and I've learned a lot from being a top player in some of the competitive games that I've played. But I have gathered enough experience in that environment that I already feel content with it. And I've understood the basic underlying ideas to be able to apply it to other areas of my life, both within and outside of gaming. Besides all of that, one big thing you can improve on Twitch as is being a better live entertainer. But that's not really something I've been looking for too much as an introvert. While I certainly want to improve my social skills and learn some things about being an entertainer, like telling exciting stories or having better conversations, I have always had this identity of myself in mind that I am a shy introvert and barely improved as an entertainer as a result. I definitely do want to improve in those aspects in life. I want to build up my social skills, but I think I have to approach it differently. Speaking of identity, there's this other issue I've been thinking about. I've always seen myself as a gamer, and I'm proud of that. It has done a lot for me, and I'm good at it. I love games. They're a wonderful type of media, and they helped me escape stress, helped me learn a lot about life, helped me find great friends, and it gave me a wonderful community and platform to share my love for games with. But I had to realize that there's more to life than just gaming, and it sounds a little silly when I say it like that. I believe it's problematic when the only thing you can say about yourself is that you're a gamer without any other interests or hobbies. I used to believe that it's just who I am. I don't have much interest in other things, and I just want to focus on what I'm passionate about. However, the main reason I felt that way stems from a lack of confidence. I know I'm not stupid. I'm probably pretty smart even. But my lack of experience in so many other areas of life has just painted this picture for me that I'm not good at a lot of things and I should stick to what I'm already comfortable with. And of course, that's just an awful mindset to have. You have to try things to get better at them. You'll always suck at new activities in the beginning, and when learning new things, there's usually a steep learning curve where you might not have fun in the beginning since you can't do anything yet. And then you start getting your first successes and aha moments, and you'll get this nice little dopamine boost making you want to continue until you reach the point where you understand the basics, but will still have real struggles to improve. Learning new things has those ups and downs, and there's milestones where you have big successes and feel great, and then there's tedious periods where you just feel helpless and as if you'd never improve. I noticed this a lot as I started teaching myself the piano, and it's something that I've always wanted to do, even as a kid, but never really had the opportunity to because it was too expensive. So I continued holding it off even into my adult years, making excuses not to start because it's still expensive and I might not like it or suck at it, and I'm too old to even learn a new instrument, right? Naturally, those are just silly excuses. Well, I finally did start, and it's something that I really enjoy. And one of the biggest reasons to start learning the piano for me was to find something besides gaming that I enjoy. I'm not only a gamer anymore, I'm someone who enjoys playing the piano and continues to improve on it. It helps build confidence, and hey, you managed to teach yourself the basics of the piano, a bit of music theory, and you can even play a couple of songs decently well. But wait a second, if I can do that, then I can surely find interest in learning other things as well? That's the whole idea. I believe there's more to life than just the things that I've been doing in the past, and I've been lacking tons of experience, and while I might think to myself that I should have started such things a lot earlier and should feel ashamed of myself, of course that all of that is not true, and if anything I should feel proud to break out of this enclosed space that I built for myself. Having had this lack of interest in other things besides gaming also made it quite difficult for me to have conversations with people. I just saw myself as this person who could talk about very few topics, like gaming. And as a result, it made it harder for me to be a good entertainer as well, which goes full circle and brings me back to my other way of approaching to become a better entertainer. I think proper life experience is important for that. I need to know what I appreciate in life to refine myself as a person, and it'll make me a better artist when I create content, and it'll improve me as an entertainer too. I just don't think that I've been really going about life the right way all these years. I've been interested in self-help and have had a growth mindset for the longest time, but I just never acted as much on it as I would have liked. So I'm going to have to do a lot of self-discovery and really getting to know myself. I'm 28 now, and I think most of your 20s should be spent figuring out who you are and what you want in life. I might be a bit behind for now, but it's not a race. Everyone does things at their own pace, and while I might start with this journey in my life maybe a little bit later than others, I have had other valuable experiences earlier in life. So, Teldo, you just rambled on for ages. What does this mean for the channels? Well, as I mentioned, there's some self-discovery to do. I still enjoy being a content creator. I'd probably still like to do it for a living. I believe it's a wonderful thing to do because you can build and foster a platform producing content about the things that define you as a person and ultimately create a community around that. It might be gaming content, but could also just be content about other interests. Maybe videos on mental health, maybe a video showcasing the process of me learning a new skill or a song on the piano, you name it. I believe there will be lots of work to be done, and my goal is to find ways to make entertaining and maybe educational content about the things that I enjoy. If I could do that, then I would probably be quite happy. YouTube has been really important to me for the longest time, and even though I have always been more of a Twitch streamer, YouTube has a dear place in my heart because I love the idea of being able to craft a meaningful piece of content that actually sticks around. See, like, right now I'm talking about all of those things in my life and I'm like getting a lot of emotions and thoughts off my chest. And if I were to do that on Twitch, it would just get lost. And a few people might see it live, but then overall, most people would not hear about it. This was off script, by the way. Most of this is on script, but I'm trying to like add in some little off-script things here and there as well because I am too lazy to rewrite the script now. I'm just doing this full voice recording now. Anyway, now there's still a lot of things that I need to discover, and I will have to learn a process and a string of positive habits that will help me learn how to create content consistently that I'm proud of. And honestly, there will be videos that suck because I'll try to learn new things. But I want to give this a real try and not be afraid of making content anymore. And as a side note, to be honest, I wrote the script a week ago, and for whatever reason I had real trouble getting this out as a video. I rewrote the script constantly and struggled doing the voice recording especially, and there's still some kind of barrier that prevents me from making as much content as I would like, but whenever I do get going, I really enjoy it and I'm into it. I just need to find the right positive habits to build so I can actually build the discipline to stick to this. Honestly, I've fallen in love with the idea of discipline, and I'm really trying to foster discipline and scheduling and being more organized in me as a person. And I'm really trying to build this identity for myself, build the evidence for myself that I can also believe in that identity, that I am a more organized person, that I am disciplined, and that I stick to positive habits and just keep building those positive habits. Anyway, back to the script. Just to be clear with you though, it might have sounded like I'm trying to get away from gaming, but I still do love gaming, and while I might not know what the future path will look like exactly, I will do my best to create more content, and it'll still be about games because it's such a big part of my identity, but I also want to try out different things and just broaden my horizon, you know? And maybe yours as well. That would be honestly pretty awesome. I just want to say this as well. I really appreciate anyone who's been sticking around and been supporting me for all this time. You have my deepest gratitude, and I think it's important to state what you're thankful for every now and then. That means a lot to me, man. And the fact that you spent your time, basically the most precious resource that you have, watching my content, it's incredible. And those of you who supported me monetarily, thank you. Seriously. It helped me much more than you can imagine, and some of you have been giving me money even when I've been inactive for quite some time. It's hard for me to ask for such things and sometimes even accept them, but you helped me build a little bit of stability in life while I'm trying to figure out how to make everything work, and that just means the world to me, man. And of course, there's some of you who followed for very specific content, and to you as well, I want to say thanks. maybe you won't like some of the new stuff that I'm making and you'd wish for me to do more content for a specific game that I've played in the past, but I can't promise that I will. Lots of you are here for Battle Right, and I absolutely love that game, and Stunlock Studios is a great company that I care and wish the most success for. Battle Right will always have a special place in my heart, even when I'm burned out and might not play it as much anymore. I'm sure I will keep revisiting the game every now and then, but I can't promise that I will go back to making content for it the way I used to and just consistently release new content for it. So I understand if some of you want to part ways now, but I just wanted to say it was great having you around, and I appreciate you. And I'm excited to release this video, even if it might end up being a somewhat incoherent, rambly mess, but I need to get some of those words off my chest. I will start working on some new content soon. I've been playing Sekiro and I absolutely loved it. And Risk of Rain 2 is also great. But I also got the privilege to get an early review code for SteamWorld Quest, which I've been playing through the past few days, and I'm looking forward to release a video for the game. Even though it's kind of new territory for me and I don't have much experience with making content for a game this early before the review embargo even dropped. So I hope I can pull this off, because honestly it makes me a bit nervous. But I really want to try and make this work. Honestly, the game has been fun. I can't talk about it yet, but looking forward to it. And in general, I will play a bigger variety of games for the time being. There's so many games that I haven't played in the past. Like, there's Hollow Knight, then there's Crosscode, which is another interesting indie game. There's so many games that I didn't really get the chance to play. Like, also Bioshock Infinite is an example. I didn't get the chance to play those games because I focused so much on playing the one big game that was doing well for my channel, and everything else didn't really feel like I could justify streaming it. And then also I couldn't really justify to myself to play games off stream as well, so I ended up just not playing as many games in the past besides the big competitive games that I focused on. And I kind of want to change that. There's so much good gaming history that I missed, and I just want to catch up on that. However, if there's a big, interesting, competitive game coming up, and honestly, there's nothing on the horizon for me that I can think of that really excites me, but this has happened before. But if there will be a game like that again, I will definitely also just invest a lot of time in that again, and I will make more competitive guides and all that stuff for it again. And honestly, I'm craving that as well. I'm really looking forward to a new game like that, but I don't know when it will happen, and usually I would just disappear in that whole time period in between, which has happened before. I just don't have the drive if there's not this one big game. And I want to change that. I want to find other things that I can do and not just disappear for months on end again. And also because we've lost a lot of Twitch VODs in the past of me playing through games, I will start making an effort of uploading full stream VODs and uncut content to my second YouTube channel, which will be linked down below for anyone interested. And I have already uploaded my full Fury playthrough, my first full Darkest Dungeon run, and an entire Sekiro playthrough as well. And I also might experiment with uploading uncut highlights, like a couple of good Risk of Rain 2 runs or other roguelite game runs. When I played games like Battle Right or Realm Royale in the past, I had tons and tons of great extra footage that I never ended up using because it was simply too much to edit. So if I do find another competitive game again, I'll probably try uploading shorter, uncut videos to this channel as well to create some good value for you there. But it's honestly, to be clear, this channel is probably not going to be for everyone. And there will be long, uncut, full stream VODs on there. But I'm gonna make sure that I don't ever release more than one video per day, or I will actually release more than one video per day sometimes, but I will make sure that not more than one will show up in your feed, because I really know how annoying it can be if suddenly someone releases like 10 videos into your feed and it's just... it's not great, you know? So I will watch out for that. And yeah, I still gotta experiment with that other channel, and I think it will help me to have another channel where I can just screw around and experiment with lower effort content. Because honestly, that kind of content is important as well. And the lower effort content, with that I primarily mean lower effort when it comes to editing and the whole post-production stuff, because that takes a lot of time to do. And it doesn't mean that it has to be like worse in quality necessarily, because I can probably figure out how to make some content that is really fun to watch by putting more quality into it as a live entertainer, if that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. I'll have to figure all of that stuff out. Honestly, there's gonna be so much self-discovery going on. It's gonna be a process, and I really want to improve as a content creator. It's very important to me. And I don't think I'm going to give this up unless I'm getting struck down by Article 13, but that's a whole other topic. But yeah, once again, thank you so much for your ongoing support. And I'll see you guys next time. And take care, everyone, and much love. Bye.